Howdy, I'm Mark Benton with Lone Bull BBQ. Welcome back for part 2 of my first cooking review of the Texas Smoke King from M&M BBQ Company. In part 1, we picked her up and brought her home. Talked about the features of the Smoke King, both from myself and from Mike Miller and Matt Sutton, the owners of M&M, and ended with conducting a biscuit test. In part 2, we'll cook some chicken wings and I'll give you my final thoughts and impressions of the Texas Smoke King. Let's get to it. So when you come to a YouTube channel, you're usually looking for education, tips. Again, you know, I'm all about the backyard smoker, the backyard pitmaster. So I'm going to give you tips you're never going to hear anywhere else. So if you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate it, but you're going to get tips like this. If you find a stink bug on your wood, you probably want to kick it off before you put the wood in the fire, because you don't really want that taste profile on your brisket. Okay? See? Backyard pro tip, no stink bugs in the fire. So I've got some chicken wings I've thawed out from Costco, and it's got a very simple treatment today. All I've done is pat them dry, and I'm going to use the hickory all-purpose rub from Meat Church today. This is a brand new one they just released. You can get it from their website. So let's get these on the grill. Okay, let's shut that down, let it run for 30 minutes and come back. They're looking pretty good. Let's see. So that one's temping about 140 in the middle here. Under the register is at 151. Over here in the corner, about 150. And back here, yeah, they're much lower. So back here we're running about 130, 135, yeah, about mid 130s. So there is a definite difference. So let me flip these, and then I'll probably run for, I don't know, probably another 30 minutes after I flip them. Okay, so looky there, doesn't that look pretty? So we're still running into a few inconsistencies. I've bumped the temp up to about, it's been around about 325 lately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to baste them in butter, move all the wings more toward the front here, kind of group them up, and then bump the temperature up as high as I can get it to go here for a little bit, just to kind of see if we can get that crispy skin on these wings. So my wife has boiled some butter, turned it into brown butter basically, but it removed all the water, so it should help create hopefully some crispy skin on there. We're just going to baste these. So we're definitely seeing ranges of temperature. There's different zones in here. And I'll lay them out to you here in a minute. Let me finish this. I shouldn't have started that conversation unless I could finish it. But on the front plate, toward the outside of each plate, like running here, that's a zone, same as zone in the back. This center point right here, that's definitely hotter than the rest. And, you know, like Matt said, it's not necessarily a hot spot, but it's definitely a heat spot. The wings in the middle here got done a lot quicker than the rest. And I can even lay my hand in there. Man, that heat coming out of that register right there is scalding. You can't leave your hand there too much if you're running this at a high temperature. So let's see, let me do these back here. And then of course, you've got another heat zone back here on the faraway grate. I want to say that this zone is pretty consistent to maybe about here. And then it drops off and you've got to worry about, you know, this last say, you know, quarter of the total grill back here. Again, this is my first cook with it. It may be user error. It may be the way I'm managing my fire. I don't think so, but you know, we'll see. I will say fire management as far as keeping a steady temperature here. If I want it to 275, I can get it there and I can keep it there. Very easy. Getting it up to 325 is, you got to basically open it wide up. I've got probably 3 or 4 logs in there burning. So I think in order to take it to maybe say if you wanted to go to 400, which is what I would like to do to kind of finish these wings off, but to take it to 400, it would take a massive fire in there. To just, because right now I've got it wide open, I got the door open, and I've got the stack wide open, and it's running, like I said, about 325. So, okay, so we've done that. So let me move everything forward and let that run for a bit. I'm just going to shove it all together. We'll see what comes out of this. These are looking good though. I can't wait to try them. Skin's not where I want them yet. I can tell that, at least on the ones in the back. But let's see what happens when I move them up here and run them for another maybe 15 minutes. We'll see. 10 minutes. Okay. There we go. Let's see what happens. I just temped them. They're all running about anywhere from 200 to 185, which is good. Wings can take that kind of heat. I mean, they're done at 165, but if you want to try to get them up and get some better skin on there, it's not real crispy, but it's better than it usually is. So let's pull these off of here and let them cool down a little bit and give them a shot. Okay, we got the wings off, fire's burning down, and let's talk a little bit about the day and what all happened, what we found, what I like, dislike. Before we do that though, I'm going to take one of these piping hot wings and see if I can eat it, see how good it is. So let's take a drum here. You know, that skin's pretty good. Parts it is kind of crispy, so let's see. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can hear me, but that skin definitely is crispy. It's crunching in my mouth. Great smoke flavor. The rub's not overpowering, but it's coming through. And that smoke is definitely coming through. That's good. Yeah. Okay. That's definitely worth doing again. God, that was so easy. It was so easy. For me to do this on my last smoker, I would have been fighting with it for an hour trying to keep that temp up. It would have blown all the way to like 500 and then try to bring it down. It was a constant fight. This one, the Texas Smoke King, is so much easier to use as far as keeping the temperature where you want it, getting it to a certain range and keeping it there. If you're watching this temperature gauge over here. So let's talk about the Texas Smoke King overall, my likes, dislikes. Let's start with the Firebox. I like the Firebox. I love the Firebox. It's good size entryway. It was a little tight for my chimney, so I may start just building a fire and lighting the charcoal right inside the Firebox. Plenty of people do that. Seems to work out for them, so that should be good. Do not try to set a chimney on top of the Firebox like I did. The wind was blowing and it started tilting. you know, little pieces of charcoal was falling out and onto the ground, and of course it's grass here, and I had a hose. I was hosing it down as it did, but I do have a Santa Maria that I could light the firebox or the chimney with, so it's not going to be that big a deal. But yeah, don't pull something stupid like I did. My old smoker was more level and it would handle it. So the firebox is good. The size of wood that you can put in there is, you know, you can vary. You saw I was using smaller pieces, but I went and got some for my stockpile at my woodshed, some post oak I had out there that was, you know, about this long, fit just fine. The stack seems to work well. I like it. I like the control that you can move back and forth when Mike maybe said that it was 20 degrees for every hole. That was kind of true for me. Now it depends on, you know, how large your fire is and where you have your door set, but it's about a 20-degree difference for each of those. And I was able to bring the fire back down when I needed to with that, open it back up and get it to go, you know, higher. The smoke chamber, let's talk about the door first. I like the door. It's good and heavy, but it's well balanced. You see, you know, we got a wooden handle here that twists, so it's very easy to kind of open up. It's not overbearing. It's not too heavy. There's no counterbalance, but it really doesn't need it. My wife was able to come out here and open it. She did use two hands, but she was able to open it, no problem. Inside, a lot of space for 100 gallon. I think they've maximized the space. The flow, the way that it cooks food, I think this alone will tell you how well it did. I mean, these wings are really outstanding. For a first cook, I couldn't be happier with these things. But there are definite zones on the grill space, the actual cooking space. So when you're looking at, you know, the fire coming in this way, dead center, there is a warm spot. I kind of lean with M&M. I wouldn't call it a hot spot, but it's a warm spot that's, you know, 10 to 20 higher than the rest. The wings there definitely got done quicker. And then you've got, that's probably, you know, inch and a half wide area there, maybe 2 inches. And then you got the rest of the grill on either side that I would consider a zone, all the way to like the first grill where you got the halfway point. So to me, those are 2 zones, and you got that center area, and it doesn't go all the way. It doesn't go all the way back, but it goes at least halfway back on the grill. One thing, you know, you saw on the biscuit test, the biscuits that were sitting in the middle of the grates, where the 2 grates come together, and you got the bar. Half the biscuit was on the bar, half was on the grill, and there was a definite difference in the way those cooked. You could see it just halfway down the biscuit. So I'm curious how that's going to work with like a brisket or a tri-tip or any other larger cut of meat that I lay on that, you know, even a pork butt or something. Beyond that halfway point, you've got about half of that grill that I would consider a zone, and then the final quarter of the whole cooking area is a zone in itself, and it's running. I can't tell you the ambient temperatures, but I can tell you from cooking on them, it's not as hot back there. I'll be running some ambient temperature tests. I've got 3 probes from ThermoWorks. The machine's in there charging up right now, so I'll do those tests tomorrow and post those out there. But from a cooking point of view, those are definitely kind of the zones I see. Now, is that bad? It's not wonderful. It's not what we were thinking. I think that, you know, the Goldie's pit was promoted as it's consistent across the whole grate. And this one was supposed to be the same way. Not necessarily totally consistent. It's not that far off. I mean, and again, this is my first cook. Could have been fire management possibly. I want to run that biscuit test again probably in a month after I've done a number of cooks on here and kind of see and learn it myself. The big thing that you may have heard in the video from Mike and Matt was you're going to learn. you know, you need to learn how to use this. And that's true with any pitmaster. It's true with any smoker that they purchase. Everyone is different. You got to learn the hot spots. You got to learn fire management. It's not like you can learn everything on one pit and then go to another pit and expect to be a perfect expert on it, because they're all a little different in the way that the air flows, the way that, you know, it brings the heat in. But overall, I'm happy with this. I'm thrilled with it for the price point. I mean, think about it. It's $250 cheaper than Goldie's. It is quite a bit cheaper than Franklin's by $1,000. So it's $1,000 cheaper than the Franklin model, and what's the 94. Both of those are about $5,000, 5 something. So for what I paid for it, and for what just this first cook I'm seeing, I'm thrilled with it. I wouldn't change my mind. This is still the model I would have purchased. I do want to do some more tests with it. The wheels are okay. They're you know, metal wheels. They're good on concrete, kinda, because if you start rolling, the ones in the back may want to turn, and it turns on you. It doesn't roll in one direction very well. You kind of have to fight that. Obviously, it wasn't meant to roll on grass, but here it is. But it took some grease to get it up here. I was feeling it when I went to bed last night. And what else? The grease trap, I haven't had a chance to use it yet, obviously, but that is a very professional looking grease trap. I don't think I'm gonna have an issue with it. So I'm looking forward to being able to clean this, keep this much cleaner than I did my old pit. The thermostat, I like not only the placement, but the thermostat itself seems to work well. The downside is when you're a backyard pitmaster, horizontal space is at a premium. You know, you're always looking for some place to set things down. You know, I own multiple tables like this that I can set up, and just having a shelf or some type of, you know, horizontal space to lay something down on a smoker is a welcome addition. You know, mine has it right here. I've got kind of a metal grate here, so it'd be nice if they could somehow fit a shelf, you know, before, you know, somewhat that you could lay something down, like, you know, someplace where I could lay this tray as I was pulling the wings off, or lay down a brisket so I could open the door and then, you know, put it in there. Not a big downside, really isn't. A lot of them don't have it, but just something I thought I'd mention, because I'm always running out of places to put things down. So with that, that's the initial review. I hope it helps. I want to thank the guys at M&M for the hospitality they gave me yesterday when I picked it up. I will just want to mention too, I'm not getting paid for any of this. This is a totally my own review. They gave me a hat. I didn't feel right wearing it on the video, but other than that, yeah, I've paid full retail for this and waited in line like everybody else. So hopefully this review helps. I'm hoping that we'll see other reviews. I do want to make an open invitation to, like, Jeremy Yoder, Mad Scientist Barbecue. If you ever come back and visit Chud or something, or you ever find yourself in Texas, I'm pretty central to anywhere you would go. So give me a holler. Come to Anderson, Texas, and cook on it. Give me your review. Bring that infrared camera you got. I'd love to see an infrared of this thing. I even got a guest house you guys can stay in. So if any YouTuber wants to come and do their own review, hit me up. Let me know, and we'll work something out. I'm not going to ship it, but it'll be here for you for your use if you want to try it. So with that, I'm going to eat one more wing. Hang on, let me try a flat here. Oh my gosh, that really is good. And these are just basic, I don't know, I think I paid $15 for a 10, 15 pound bag of chicken wings at Costco. So, that's good. So with that, I'm gonna finish the night, sit here and eat some wings, drink a little Shiner Bock, and wish you guys good night. You guys have a good time till I see you again. Thanks.